South Dakota used to have a governor, Kristi Noem. She is now, what is she, the Secretary for Homeland Security at this point for some reason? I don't know. She was seen this week when she's not dressing up. She was seen taking a video in front of a prison in El Salvador. It's just horrible, whatever she's doing. Kristi Noem is also the lady who bragged about killing her own dog. So anyway, South Dakota, once she left the governorship to take up a position in the Trump cabinet, she was replaced by a guy named Larry Rhoden. And so Larry Rhoden's only been in the position for like a couple of months so far. And he recently sent an email to state employees telling them, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you 2 days off next month, which sounds great. But I want to show you the email he sent, because there's a reason it's disturbing. And the Freedom from Religion Foundation got a copy of this email that I want to share with you. So check this out. This is dated March 21st. It was just sent last week. But check this out. This is the whole email. Dear team, thanks for your hard work. That's all nice. Whatever. Look at this. The arrival of spring affords me the opportunity to show you my appreciation for the work you do. I am granting administrative leave for both Good Friday and Easter Monday, April 18th and April 21st. I hope you could spend time with those you love as you celebrate the resurrection of our good Lord. And it's that last part that's the issue here. You know why this is an issue, right? Like, it's perfectly fine to say, hey, you know what? There's a lot of people who might want the day off, Good Friday, the Monday after Easter, and I want to do it in a way that is legal. So the governor is saying, I'm going to give everyone the day off. But instead of calling it like spring break, instead of just saying, I'm going to give you a long weekend in April, he's saying specifically, I'm going to give you religious holiday 1 and religious holiday 2 off. And I'm going to do it so you can all celebrate my personal God. Which again, if this was done outside the context of Christianity, I think people would understand how crazy it is what he wrote. But I think maybe it doesn't have a lot of impact because people are just used to it. But I do think it's worth acknowledging why that is wrong. That's not something you would ever see happening for any other religion. So the Freedom from Religion Foundation did write a letter to the governor's office. And this is what Attorney Chris Line said in his letter here. Let me show you this. We urge you to immediately refrain from including religious messaging in official communications as governor, and to ensure that the state does not grant administrative leave in observance of a specific religion's holy days. Government neutrality on matters of religion is essential to upholding the constitutional principles of church-state separation and ensuring that all South Dakota employees are equally respected. It's not asking a lot. Again, all he had to do is say, I'm going to give you those 2 days off. He can call it whatever secular thing he wants. And even if he's doing it because he's trying to accommodate Christians in his government office, it's fine as long as you're doing it for secular reasons. No one was stopping him. Like, this is why a lot of public school districts no longer say we're going to have Christmas break. They say winter break. Because guess what? Christmas is not always the only game in town. And it's better to be inclusive, let people celebrate what they want. But by the way, we're just going to give you 2 weeks off in December. And it's the same reason that, you know, you might have spring break coming up and not Easter break, because not everyone celebrates Easter. It's not anti-Christian to just call something by a secular name, even if Christians happen to be the beneficiaries of that all. So as soon as you say, I'm giving you the day off as governor, I'm giving all of you government employees the day off to celebrate my religion, you have crossed a line. Now, is there going to be a lawsuit over this? No. Is he going to get in trouble for this? No. It's a simple request that there are more people in South Dakota than just Christians who live there. And acknowledging them and just, you know, admitting that they exist is not a big ask, right? The governor hasn't responded. I'm sure if he wanted to, he'll just pretend like this letter is anti-Christian, which it's not. But it's one of those things where if you don't call it out, they're going to start doing more of it. And what do I mean by that? Like, what the Supreme Court has been saying in recent years is we're going to let church-state separation shit, we're just going to let it slide. If you do something super Christian, like putting up a cross on public property, but you did it a long time ago and everyone's just used to it, it's fine now. Like, that's their rule. If you let people get away with small things a long time ago, we're just going to look the other way now. That's why you call this stuff out now, before it becomes normal and before a conservative judge in the future says, well, hey, that South Dakota governor said everyone can have the day off for Christmas. And what did you atheists do about it? Absolutely nothing. So you won't mind if, I don't know, the president says no one gets to do anything in December because it's Jesus's birthday. I don't know. Like, you have to stop this stuff when it's small so that it doesn't become a problem down the road. Is it the most egregious thing Larry Rhoden has done since he got into office? No. Let me show you just a couple of headlines from like recently. South Dakota governor signs bills allowing concealed handguns at bars and colleges. That sounds like it's going to end well. Here's another headline. This one won't surprise you. Rhoden signs anti-trans law in South Dakota. So look, this guy is a moral monster and he's Christian, and those things are not mutually exclusive. So it's not surprising that he's like, hey, everybody, let's celebrate my religion and not anyone else's. Now, if you are also like me and you're like, wait a minute, aren't there only like 3 people in South Dakota? Close. But actually, that Pew Research Center survey, the massive one they just did, they actually did numbers on this. What percentage of people in South Dakota are not Christians? We have numbers for that. Check it out. Only 79% of people in South Dakota are Christians. You can see right here, 18% of the state is religiously unaffiliated, and 2% of South Dakota belong to other religions. So when the governor says, hey, employees who work for the state, I'm going to let you all off to celebrate Jesus, 20% of the people, statistically anyway, don't believe in that shit. And he's just ignoring them because he's just treating Christianity as the default. And again, someone who works for the state is the one who sent FFRF a screenshot of that email. So like, there is someone there who this doesn't apply to. And I don't think it's a big ask to say, hey, why don't you just acknowledge that there are non-Christians who also work for the government? I don't know. All of these people follow in the lead of Donald Trump, who just pretends like Christianity is all that matters. So like, I appreciate FFRF bringing this to light. I appreciate the person who sent them this email so that people, because they understood this was a big deal and it shouldn't happen. And I know, not the biggest story in the world. It's not like going to change your life in any way. But again, it's these types of things that tend to blow up into bigger stories down the road if you don't stop them right away. So that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention. All right, what questions we got here? Most folks may roll with it and accept the days off simply for getting days off. And here's the thing. You're right. If I worked for the state of South Dakota, part of me says, I don't really care what he said. I get Friday, Monday off. I have a long weekend. Cool. I'm going to go do something fun on that long weekend. I get that. I don't want them not to have the days off. My only issue here is just say I'm giving you the days off. You could say it's for spring break. You could say whether you want to celebrate a religious holiday or just take the time off, go do that. My only issue is saying the only reason I'm giving you these days off is so you could celebrate my God. Like, that's what the governor said. The governor of any state should not be saying anything like that. And I know if we were talking about any religion except Christianity, there would be enough of an outcry about this. But you would never see a non-Christian religion do it because Christians believe they have that privilege where they can get away with this sort of thing. It's creeping Christianity. Yeah, it just seeps its way in slowly like a bad basement flood. But you use the magic word number 2, Hemet. Inclusion. I know. I'm sorry. I asked that the governor of South Dakota consider being inclusive. And of course, how dare I ask that? Why would a governor think about other people in his state besides himself? He learned from Christy Nome.